So today we are going to be taking a look at footballers who have basically played for two different nationalities. I didn't even think that was allowed at one point. How can you be playing for Spain one minute, next year you're jogging around on the pitch for Brazil? I want every single person to drop a like on today's video, and if we can hit 5,000 likes in, let's say, 2-3 days, I'll give away a silver Rolex. 5,000 likes in 3 days, and I'll give a Rolex to one of you. I think first off, we gotta start with Diego Costa. As you can see on the screen, my guy once played for Brazil. You might not believe this, you might not want to believe it, but it happened. As we all know, Diego Costa is a big boy, a big hitter for Spain. He's a good striker, we all know that. He's going to score you goals, but there was a time when he wasn't even thought of playing for Spain. Bro, like, as you've seen on the screen, he was coming on, he was genuinely a Brazil player. I just don't believe this. And in the space of a year or two, next thing you know, he's scoring goals for Spain. Bro, I'm baffled. What made you change? Like, playing for Brazil and Spain, two of the best international teams in the world, and you're starting or basically coming on and playing for both of them. So why change? Why not just keep playing for Brazil? I don't understand, but yeah, Diego Costa was one of those guys that just said, you know what? F everybody. I want to play for two different nations. And there's nothing you can do about it. Of course, Victor Moses. Now, a lot of the big hitters, a lot of the people who know their football, you know, a lot of people who've been watching England for a long time will know there was a time for the under-21s when Victor Moses was starting. He was a top player, big potential. I have no idea why or what made Moses in his prime, even though he was starting for England, switch over to Nigeria. I know his parents are from Nigeria. I know Moses is blatantly English, so I don't know why, but just like Diego Costa, he was like, nah, I don't really want anything to do with England. I'm going to play for Nigeria. And you know the worst thing about everything to do with this? He did this when England played Nigeria. He did this to Harry Kane. Have a bit of that for I don't need England anymore. This guy fully just took the piss. Rafinha, a weird one. Because once again, just like Costa, he did a similar thing but the other way around. So Rafinha was once playing for Spain. He was playing for the Spain under-19s, under-16s, and I think like the under-12s and stuff. He came all the way up through the Spanish camp, but then switched over to Brazil. Once again, I have no idea why he did this. His brother, as we all know, Thiago, plays for Spain, and he's a great player. But for some reason, Rafinha was like, nah, I don't want to play for Spain anymore, even though he came up all the way and switched over to Brazil. That was the end of that. I don't think Rafinha ever went on to be a top Brazilian player. Kevin Prince Boateng. As we all know, this guy is Ghana through and through. He represents his ends. He does it with a swagger. He loves Ghana. He's like one of their best players. He always has been. But there was a time, I know a lot of you are not going to believe this, he was actually playing for German national team. We all know his brother straight up, Jerome Boateng, is like, nah, I'm sticking with Germany. And that's fair enough. But Kevin Prince was always, as we all know, like straight up, nah, I'm playing for Ghana. But nah, I went and done some digging and found out that, as you've probably seen on the screen, Boateng was a proud German international. Strange to see. Boateng has gone on to be one of Ghana's most proudest and best midfield players that they'll probably ever have. Guy is an absolute G. But it's just crazy to think how different it could have been if he genuinely would have stayed playing for Germany. He definitely would have gone on to be a top player. I don't understand why sometimes players change over. Crazy. Wilfried Zaha. Yeah, Wilfried. Good old Wilfy Wilf. Let me just tell you, this guy was English through and through. He still is English through and through, as we all know. The guy's blatantly from London. But there was a time when he was scoring goals for England. He was doing great. Everyone loved him. He was showing great potential for England. I just don't understand. He scored his first goal for the under-21s. It was looking bright. The future was looking up. He was probably going to get a spot in the first team. But all of a sudden, just like that, he said, no, I don't want to play for England anymore. And went and played for Ivory Coast. What? I honestly, it's crazy. Like, if you're doing good enough for your international team and you've already, you know, decided you're going to start your career with them, why then all of a sudden go, nah, switch over? I understand when you're never going to make it in the first team, but Zaha was a good player and definitely would have made it to the subs bench at least for England and been a proud English player. But it just never happened. And as we all know now, Zaha's running around for the Ivory Coast. Is he even starting for them? No one even knows. And let's definitely not sleep on Chadli. This, once again, another player. And this one is different to the rest of the team. Because Chadli is actually originally Moroccan. Like, he's a Moroccan dude. He looks Moroccan. Everything about him is Moroccan. He fitted in the team great. He was doing amazing. But what he did was he changed over nationalities to a team that are better than Morocco. He just thought, you know what, I'm going to switch over to a team that are better than Morocco because I got a good chance of getting in their team and winning more stuff with them. That's quite scummy. You gotta laugh. That is actually scummy. Most players, they're actually in a better position, like you know, Zaha for England, like Boateng playing for Ghana, but they go back and play for their home team to help them out. And because they feel like that's where their roots are. Chadli was just like, nah, I'm from Morocco, but I'm going to play for Belgium because they're much better. What a mad guy.